What is up? What is up, everybody? I gotta get a good camera. I'm literally watching somebody else's stream right now, and their quality is just key. But they're like, I need some good quality. I don't know what's going on. But let me go and make sure real quick that I do this. I want to make sure I switch this to day 42 because that's what we are on. Yes, sir. Day 42 in the books. And then I believe the next thing I wanted to do is fix my subscription goal because we kind of already hit it. I understand that I also came on stream. I want to say let's do 1,100 and 1,820 or 1,850. I don't remember. 2026. So let's see if we can get there. But then what was I just about to say? What the hell was I just about to say? I completely forgot. There's a couple of things that I do want to show you guys though. So give me a second as I continue to set up a little bit. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I hate the fact that I started a little bit late today because I wanted to spend more time streaming, but there was just so much that ended up happening last minute because I wanted to hop on stream around 5 p.m. But then I had heard that a family member was coming through that I haven't seen in a while. So I was like, okay, let me go see that family member. Remember this, that was at 5 a.m. 5 p.m. So then I was like, okay, whatever, I'll just wait because, family's coming, yada yada. Turns out nobody ended up coming around that time, but then I didn't notice that I had a phone appointment on like, it was just an appointment with a doctor on my phone, and it was at 5:30. So I was like, oh shoot, thank God I didn't end up starting at 5 anyway because, it was at 5:30. But then I was thinking, okay, maybe I could start at 6. And I remember it being 6 p.m. and I was ready to like go and start. But then, like I said, my family member did not come by until like I want to say like 6:30 maybe ish, 6:40 ish. So I'm like, I could have streamed, but then I would have had to cut the stream short. So I was like, whatever. Now we're starting now. But this is bad for me because I currently do have a YouTube video ready to upload. I just filmed it. I got to download it and stuff like that. Y'all know the whole shebang, right? And pretty much normally when you try to upload like back to back like that, sometimes it could mess up the YouTube video or mess up the stream, one or the other. So it's kind of annoying, but either way, I just want to be able to get my content out for you guys, and I'm excited to be able to do so. I'm trying to set this camera up. Give me 1 second. Trying to set this camera up. But how are you guys today? Hopefully we are all doing well. I gotta make sure I got my notes taken out. But I do want to show you guys a little bit of some references and some resources that for one that I plan on using, and I can't wait to go and tell y'all. But I won't be obviously able to show this to you, some of this stuff to you guys on stream. So a lot of it is gonna have to be like off stream type of stuff. Or I could do it on screen, but y'all just can't see the screen. But it's not gonna happen today. Today we got a couple of things we're going to be going through. I believe that we were getting into the file system for the OS, but I was also taking a good amount of questions for the CompTIA and the CPU. So we are going to go back and see if we could retake that exam to see how everything ends up going down. Oh, I completely forgot. Sorry. How could I forget this? Normally what I'm supposed to do is go to my account on here. And then I'm supposed to copy this link. You know what's so crazy is that I was literally looking at another streamer right now, and I'm sure y'all probably know him, Rakai, right? He's a part of the group of Kai Cenat and stuff like that. And I was just looking, and I'm like, he has 17,000 viewers in there. That's crazy. Imagine like what that really makes. You know what I mean? Like that is absurd. 17,000 viewers, and that's not even like his cap view count for that stream that he's doing on YouTube right now. So I'm like, wow, like they really are out there like just making bank. It's straight up a business play, straight up, and it's just an opportunity as well to even go into movies and stuff like that because they're straight like known. Wildin', it is crazy. All right, so let's go and do this. Put this camera here, so hopefully we can get connected. My fault for being a little bit underprepared, but there's nothing wrong with that. I was catching up a little bit on Stranger Things as well, which was great. I'm trying to rewatch the whole show before getting into episode 5, so I thought that would be super damn fun. I don't know why my screen is so zoomed out. Give me 1 second. I know y'all can't see, but there's a couple of things I just gotta do to set this up. I don't know what's going on. I have it at 125, but I think 150 is better. 150 looks way better. I think. Hold on. What the hell? Why does everything still look a little bit too zoomed in? I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure it out myself. So we're gonna exit some of these out. So let me go and show you guys to see if maybe I could take this quiz correctly. We don't have the notes on, so we just start the virtual camera. Let's see how that's looking. We gotta make this say 42. And then I believe the last thing is, since we're taking this quiz, I don't really know if y'all need to really see my notes like that. Wait, what happened to my screen? What the hell? Alright, I guess this shouldn't be too crazy. I don't even understand. Sorry, give me a second, y'all. I don't know what's happening. How did my screen even do this? I guess I'm about to show y'all the bottom half here. Alright, that's better. Alright, let's jump here. So here is, well, for one, let's go through it. Some things that I was looking at is I didn't know Professor Messer, he actually does have a whole website, specifically though for the 1201, where he has YouTube videos, which I plan on watching, but I don't want to watch on stream simply because that could be a copyright issue. But he also has stuff down here that pretty much explains everything that is in the video. And this part is for free. I don't know if he meant to leave this here because you cannot see it for the 1202. As you can see, this is the 1202. It has literally nothing. But you could see it for the 1201. So I was going to start using some of this for some studying, specifically for the file systems that I'm taking notes on. Oh, wait, no, I can't. I forgot because I was taking notes on 02. So this would have to be a different day. Let me go and save this for later, just in case if I ever lose that. But something else that they offer here too, which I heard is pretty good. This one's the 1202 one, by the way, but that he offers course notes, which I heard is good, but that it's kind of like notes from his YouTube video, so it's nothing too crazy. Which is why I'm like, maybe this wouldn't be worth the purchase, but who knows? I haven't purchased it. But my goal of what I'm thinking is getting the A+ exams. This is the 1202, and I think there's one for the 1201, and there's a bundle somewhere for $50, which isn't bad. And you get all the practice, I guess a practice Q&A, and you get practice exams in there, which is crazy that I'm literally going to end up paying for. So I'll let y'all know if that helped me or not. And they have it here for a bunch of different things: Network Plus, Security Plus. So definitely make sure you get in there. Now, let's go back to this exam thing here, because this exam thing is supposed to help you with the CompTIA A+ a little bit. It's like kind of like a free little place, but some people don't really like it. Let's see how this goes. This is practice test. Oh, that's the difference. This is practice test for 1201, while this one's 1101. So this one's kind of newer, y'all. This one's kind of newer, because I think this came out like about a year ago. So we took the CPU quiz and I bunked it. So let's see if we can end up passing now. So it's saying, which of the following terms refers to a 32-bit? I remember it was x86. Do I know why? Not really. I just know that that's what the answer is. I know the 64-bit is 64. I swear I didn't click it, but okay. So the presence of program files folder on, let me see something. Oops. What's going on? By the way, if y'all are here, make sure you end up hitting that like button. Says, so the presence of the program files x86 folder on the C drive in the MS Windows indicates that the system uses a 32-bit. I am confused because it's saying the program files on the x86 folder. I mean, it kind of makes me think it's true, but I believe it was false. I'm not sure. So the CPU design based on an instruction set that tries to improve speed by utilizing relatively few examples. I think is RISC is how you would pronounce that. Not sure, but I think it's that one. So which of the following answers refers to ARM type CPUs? I remember it being this one, suitable for the battery power. I know it was definitely commonly used in mobile devices. I don't know what else though. Maybe focuses on simplifying the instruction set to enhance processing efficiency. Remember, y'all, I took this test previously, I believe yesterday, and I failed tremendously. So let's see if we made some progress with my studying to kind of try and see if we're going to pass. I think I chose the right ones. Who knows? I feel like I'm going to get this one wrong. A type of CPU architecture where a single physical CPU contains more than one physical processing unit on a single integrated circuit is referred to as, I think, I kept thinking it was a multiprocessor system because I kept seeing CPU, but I think it was a multi-core architecture, I believe. Then this one is a set of Intel CPU hardware enhancements that enable virtualization. It could be Hyper-V, but I don't think so. I believe I also got this one right by accident. I believe it's the VTX. Says which of the answers below refers to the AMD CPU hardware? The only thing I could think of is this because it says AMD, so I could be wrong. I could genuinely be wrong there. I don't know why my screen seems so big, right? Or am I tripping? I don't know. Which of the following answers refers to solutions directly? Actually, I'm not even gonna hold you. I don't really like the way my camera thing is starting to look. Oh, oops. Let me see if I could like fix that a little. Like, right? Am I tripping? And maybe it's best for me to alt this, pull that up, and then kind of pull this down like that. Maybe that would look better. I don't know. So saying which of the following answers reflects to improving the dispensation. So I'm assuming anything that is going to calm this down. So thermal pad, CPU sink, fan, heat sink, thermal paste, and liquid-based cooling. That has to be that, I'm assuming. As opposed to active cooling components like cooling fans, heat sinks are considered passive cooling systems because they do not require electrical power. I don't remember if this is true. And then in the CPU cooling system, thermal paste is applied to fill the narrow gap. I finally learned this one because before I said CPU and thermal pad. I guess that's wrong. It's supposed to be CPU and heat sink. So let's see how we ended up doing. I probably got one wrong. I feel like it was the truth or false. Oh, we actually got 100. Okay, so after getting a 61 and then studying a little bit to being able to get 100 is pretty damn cool. That means I'm learning something about the CPU. And I believe I took the other CPU quiz and I also bunked that one too. So we're going to see. So now that we got this to be, well, the other CPU quiz is actually for the, where is it at? It's for the 1101 that they gave that CPU quiz for. But I think in a way it's kind of similar. But, we were able to pass that. Maybe, we could end up moving a little bit forward. We took the power supply quiz. We passed after, I believe, failing once as well. So the good thing is after you fail, you just get back up and you try again. So the next quiz we're going to be taking is the BIOS quiz, but I do want to get a bit into some note taking. So what I'm going to do is probably, because right now I'm currently taking notes on this video. I don't actually, no, I think it was this video, the file systems video, yes, where we kind of watch and we talk about this. I don't really want people to get copyrighted, so I'm thinking, I'm not really sure how I'm going to do this without, basically being copyrighted. Maybe I could try it and see if I will get copyrighted or not, but who knows? Because I am more likely going to talk more than he speaks. I just want to get a little bit of what he's saying. I know we took notes a little bit down to, I believe, here with the NTFS. And so let me make sure, probably around here, because after the quotas, that's kind of where I'm at. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't do it on camera. I just don't want this to get copyrighted. That's my problem. That's my problem. Because when it gets copyrighted, then that would ruin the whole stream for me. So maybe from here. Oh, you know what? Actually, I forgot that I found this nice little website of somebody's official study notes. This, though, I believe is for, I don't know, is this the old school exam? Is the first two exams for the older CompTIA A plus 900? Oh my goodness, this is the older exam. Wow. 902? I think, is this even the same as the 1202? Like, what the hell? So let me do exam. I'm gonna do CompTIA A plus exam 120. I think I'm looking for 02 because that has the operating system study guide PDF, and let's see if maybe we could find something. So there's a couple, but it looks like you have to pay for them. I'm trying to find like a free little source that I can kind of just go through. They want you to download this one. That's damn sure not what I'm doing. Let's see. Is anything else loading? Is this just notes at this point? Maybe I'm at the wrong spot. Oh, it's probably saying what's in the book. We got the ultimate study guide. This is exam objectives. This is the 1202 exam. Okay, this isn't teaching nothing. Can they please? Can they please? I guess this one has the archive notes. It's just because I want to read it on camera. I hate, you have no idea, I hate having to find certain like websites. I swear I found something where I figured out that I could like take notes on it. I guess not. I guess I would ultimately have to use this video. Oh, you know why? Because I was relying on this one, but now that I'm realizing this is kind of old school, it doesn't make sense to use this no more. You know what I mean? Let me see if I can find exactly what I'm looking for though. File system. So we got the NTFS. They don't even really have a full section for it. Yeah, no, they don't. I'm gonna have to fucking. I don't even know. I'm probably gonna have to just look it up then because I can't really find anything. Do y'all have any good resources? Let me know if y'all have any good resources. Maybe I should just look up file system. All right, I think I have an idea. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come here. I'm going to show my little note-taking camera here, and then I'm probably just going to watch it on my phone. I feel like that's really the best thing that I could do, which sucks, but it's really the only thing that I could do here if I want to make sure I continue to take notes on this operating system. Which I, for some reason, oh yeah, I started with the file system, so let's go see. I know playing his audio could also be bad, but I feel like as long as I'm talking more than the audio, everything should be fine. So right now we're taking notes specifically on the NTFS file, so that's pretty good. Eventually we're gonna get into job hunting, so don't go nowhere. We got symbolic lines, large file support, security, recoverability. So then what we're going to end up finding here is that the NTFS and the NT file system extensive improvements over FAT32. They have quotas, file compression, right? But it's not very compatible across operating systems, which is crazy because I swore he said that they were compatible. So now I'm a little bit confused, but maybe that's just me. Maybe I misunderstood. So we're going to take this bullet point. So not compatible with every single operating system, basically, is what we're getting into. Specifically, where we are currently talking about the file systems, by the way, and we're currently talking about the NTFS that I know Windows ends up using, but I'm not sure. I believe it can go to different operating systems, but I guess it's not as open compared to, I think Linux, you're able to put it on anyone, right? Any type of file system? I'm not too positive how Linux ends up working. It says many OSs will not read, so across operating systems, many operating systems will not, or will read NTFS but not write. Oh, okay, so that's weird. So we'll read NTFS but not write. I don't even really get that. So maybe that's gonna have to be something that I just take a note of or go in Google and kind of trying to see what exactly does that mean? So some have limited write functionality to an NTFS file. Now, I feel like when it's saying write, I'm legitimately thinking of writing, so I'm confused by that. And then reading, I'm thinking of reading. So how is that occurring? Who knows? We're gonna have to end up either listening to the video, or I'm going, because he might explain it a little bit more in detail, or I'm going to have to do a little bit more of a deeper dive. I can't wait to end up paying for his exams though, because I've heard people say that his exams are pretty damn good. But I know Exam Compass is pretty good too, because those ones are actually new. For the 1201, I think that exam came out, what, like last year or earlier this year, I believe. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Used across many different operating systems. Many of these other OSs will read NTFS information, although some operating systems are not able to write NTFS data.
What if you're using modern versions of NTFS? Sorry for a second.
Of Linux or Mac OS, you'll find that you're able to read and write information to an NTFS partition.
So saying, but if you're using modern versions of Linux, so this is going to be like a mini little thing. So if using modern versions of Linux, that's good. Or Mac OS, you'll be able to find, or you'll find that you're able to read and write information. So let's see, will find you are able to read and write information. But is it to the NTFS or with the NTFS? So it says, although some operating systems are not able to write NTFS, but if you're using modern versions of Linux or macOS, you'll find that you are able to read and write information to and partition. So that's what that says. Okay, sorry for a second. I was like, what? The to and NTFS partition, which I like that a lot, period. Let's keep this going.
Microsoft is working on the next generation of file systems with the Resilient File System, or RIA.
So I guess Microsoft is working on a new type of file system, or the next generation of file systems, which is going to be called the Resilient File System. So I'm not too positive if this is going to be popping up on the CompTIA. It just might. So we got to make sure that we end up taking a huge note on that one. The only thing here that I think is kind of throwing me off, like I said, was the previous note that I took, that many OSs will read NTFS but not write. So I feel like I do want to go and look that up, which I can go and show y'all with me right now. Let's go and see real quick. So because since I'm not really taking notes yet, I'm gonna take that off for now. We're gonna go and put, what does it mean that not all OSs can read and write NTFS, the file system? That's what's throwing me off. This is a genuine question for me. So it's saying it means that while Windows fully understands and uses NTFS, Microsoft's file system, other operating systems like macOS and some older devices don't natively support writing to it. Oh, so you're writing to it? They can often read files, copy from the drive. Okay, so copy. That's why I'm getting confused. I'm like, what does read and write mean? That should have been the first note that I've ever took. So let me go and I guess write that here. I'm just going to put read means to, I guess, copy from the drive. So read files. So that was a good note then. I'm glad that I searched this up because this could have had me confused for a minute. And this is something that I actually have to do more, is like I feel like sometimes I trust the fact that a video or a certain website is going to teach me it. Sometimes they just kind of assume that you know it. And that isn't the case for me. So I'm going to go and write this here. So we're going to go write means to add, delete, so basically anything you do to it, or modify file. So I like that. That's very helpful without an extra third-party software, which I guess pretty much it says that the third-party software, well, that they don't have third-party software, that the modernized version allows you to read and write information to an NTFS partition. So I think it's more of the older stuff. So that's probably something I should write down. So like older does not. So that I can just kind of understand where we're coming at here. Let's go pop back into a little bit of this video. And I'm also probably going to go and, just so y'all can actually see something on the screen, is I'm going to look up exactly what I'm learning about. So right now we're getting a little bit into the resilient file system here. So y'all can end up seeing this. I'm gonna go turn this camera back on. I know I can't really see like the chat. It should pop up on my screen somewhere because I'm watching the video on my phone, but excuse me. Am I able to like grab this? Yeah, because I do like a pop-out chat so that I could, just in case if people do end up chatting, which I'm not sure if they will, which is a-okay with me, but oh, where'd it go? Where the hell did my chat go? Oh, it's right here. I'm like, maybe I could put it side by side, kind of. Okay, no, I can't. I guess I'll just leave it here. I kind of want it smaller, low-key. My fault, y'all. My fault. Okay, what the hell? I just want it smaller. Bro, why is it making it so difficult for me to grab it? Stop. Okay, here we go. I just want to be able to like see if a message comes through and probably not be able to read it, but just be able to see it. If I can do anything. This is crazy. All right, let me try. Oh, okay. I can go this way. Perfect. That's probably helpful. I know if I click on anything on the screen though, I'm screwed. But okay. So now we're getting into the newish type of file system, which is crazy. I never really heard of file systems. I didn't even really know that I had to know about them. But I'm glad that I found a way to kind of be able to, I guess, listen to what Professor Messer has to say about it. Hopefully, with me watching him, this can help me pass the CompTIA A plus. Even though right now we're kind of like all over the place because we took notes on hardware and I felt like I was done with that section, but I'm thinking I might have to spin the block soon. I think I'm going to stick to operating systems though, just because maybe me learning this now would make a lot more sense because it just has a lot more information. So this is going to be what he had said is the future Windows file system. So I wonder what the difference is. More than likely, it has to be upgraded because why else would they do such thing? So Windows file system. And then it says here an update to the NTFS, of course, because how? Update to NTFS. And then also too, I'm kind of wondering as well, like, is the NTFS literally just like kind of what's going on my screen, or is it an application? Like, how do I don't really know. I mean, well, I guess it's a file system, but is it literally where my, you know what I mean? Like where my folders are at, like File Explorer? Or is a file system literally just what you kind of are using? Like, I think I need to go that deep. I need to go to the basics. Oh, you know what too? What I'm realizing is that he actually isn't teaching the basics. I forgot that he's teaching more or less in a way where, yeah, you do know the basics. I forgot about that. That's literally what the CompTIA A plus is that they expect that you know the basics. So maybe the questions that I'm saying aren't crazy. It's just, I just don't know the basics yet. I only know the basics for hardware. So that's probably why too I don't really know too much about hardware. I forgot I only was meant to dive into the basics and I kind of took it a little bit too far. But that is all right. So let's go and see real quick. I want to ask. So I need to go here. Let me open up a new tab. So this is for future Windows. I basically want to say, what is a file system? That's a basic question. It's a method that an operating system uses to organize, store, manage data on a storage device like a hard drive or SSD. So is it a app? I don't know. I'm confused. I just gotta look it up. So it's not an app. It's just a software structure, NTFS. I think the only thing I would have to say from there, so that means it's not the folder. So it's something that basically we can't really see. Like this is it, basically. You know what I'm saying? I'm assuming is probably the best way to explain that. Maybe I could be so off. And I did take that note of what a file system was, but I feel like visually speaking, I wasn't thinking about it visually speaking. Oh, you earn a badge when you complete his course. Does it have like questions and stuff? What the hell? But yeah, that's pretty much all I needed to know. Let's go on to the next one. So it says server 2012 and later limited support day 8.1. So we got to get to the next thing.
And you'll find certain levels of integration of ReFS available in Server 2012.
So you'll find many of the modern Windows desktop operating systems can provide. So let's see exactly where we go. Oh, damn, my stomach low-key hurts. What the hell? So saying this file system is designed not only for desktops, but I guess for servers as well. Then there's an example for huge storage requirements. Say support for very large drives and storage arrays. So of course that would be the upgrade. I like that. Damn, my whole stomach feels crazy. I don't know what the hell that is. It's like every time I breathe or I lean back or something. It's weird as heck. So let's go and write down exactly why this file system is designed. So the file system is designed to, or is designed for desktop systems and environments. So desktop systems and environments. Oh, server environment. Sorry, I'm like, what am I supposed to say? Server environments perfection. For example, like resilient file system has huge support requirements for very large data arrays. Okay, okay, I like that. So here's an example. Huge storage requirements. So these are great notes to be honestly taking. I just hope that I got enough of the basics to kind of understand it, but as long as it's somewhat self-guided as well as taking a mini course. I guess you can call this a course, right? I believe he calls it a course, and I think that's pretty good for being able to learn some things. So very large drive. So I think the basic thing that I should do is every time he has a topic, kind of probably look up and see if I can find a website or use the AI overview to see if they have it in basic a basic explanation of what he's gonna teach deeply. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep this pushing.
Support requirements for very large data arrays.
Okay. And the name implies resiliency itself is able to repair itself. Oh, what the heck? So I guess this ends up offering a constant data availability, which literally means that it's able to self-repair. Y'all, I can't believe it. It can legitimately self-repair. So availability. And that's honestly a crazy little thing that could do. Self-repair, wow. Self-repairing. And then ongoing integrity checks. So ongoing. This is crazy. So this just has a bunch of like some highly good stuff going on. By the way, if you guys are new here, man, make sure you end up hitting that subscribe button. Come join me on this journey of learning IT support and hopefully becoming a network engineer. And I was actually doing a lot more research, y'all, on what type of degree I wanted to go for on the WGU, because I basically was thinking about going for specifically the IT degree. Well, at first I was going to do the computer science degree, but then I realized if I'm not going to sit there and become a software engineer and I kind of know which route I want to go, then I might as well just get the IT degree, because why not? But then I seen that they had a specific degree that is for cloud and that is for the cloud and specifically network engineering. And obviously I know which route I want to go, and that would be the one that I would likely like to do. So I'm like, that wouldn't be bad for me to currently go for that degree, and it basically prepares you as well for the CCNA, as well as the AWS and a couple more certifications. I'm like, I think that might have to be the wave, and then of course probably take my Network Plus like right before that and do a bunch of like pre-studying, because the degree itself allows you to kind of move at your own pace. But if you move faster, you can get like a 4-year degree in a year if you move that fast, which is definitely possible, but that's like probably consistent work. Obviously I can't do that, so I'm giving myself about like maybe a year and a half or two, and the what is it called, the payments aren't that much. I think it's 8,000 a year if you did it that way, so that's not too bad. Now, and for a lot of people, it does take 4 years. So it's like a regular college, but you can use it for advanced teaching. So let's continue listening to what he has to say.
It's constantly checking itself for integrity.
You no longer have to run
check disk or similar utilities.
That's crazy. So you won't no longer have to run check disks. So let me write down. So no longer check disk. So that's crazy. This is something new to know.
Your file system is working properly. There's also some RAID type functionality built into REIT.
And there's RAID type functionality into there. I know I wrote that, but for a second I wasn't thinking of it. So the file system also provides RAID like redundancy. That's good, because you want to get some good redundant RAID. But it says so that you could build out redundant file systems with redundant storage. So that's really good. I believe, what exactly was RAID again? Is that like, I'm glad that I'm on a laptop right now. What is RAID? Because I completely forgot. I think it's, data storage that combines multiple physical drives into one logical unit. So if RAID is going to be in the new file system, so that means they're making a virtual stacking of your saving, whatever the hell it's called, a virtual stacking. So it's saying, what is RAID is, so RAID is, let me spell this please. What is RAID going to be in the new file system that is called the RESP? What the hell? REFS. So let's see exactly what that says. So the REFS doesn't replace traditional RAID, but it integrates with storage spaces to provide software-defined redundancy like RAID 1 mirroring and self-healing, working with hardware RAID for high-end servers, making it great for large data. I think my thing or thought when it comes to the RAID though, is it physical or is it virtual? Okay, so yeah, here we go. So saying the RFS works with storage spaces to create virtual disks from physical drives, offering mirroring. Okay, but it's all virtual from the physical drive. And then parity for data protection without needing complex hardware controllers, and then also the self-healing that comes from RAID 1 as well. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good information right there. So let's keep this pushing. It says a measured integration, updates and improvements are ongoing. So then that's pretty good as well. And I honestly think this is going to be a very good file system. I'm sure that all the other file systems though, there's probably, I can't believe they even have a lot of different levels in tech like this. And all this stuff, imagine that you would have to kind of learn pretty much now that I'm thinking about it. Because this is just for Windows. And like obviously it says something like Linux. What exactly did I just write earlier? It says something that Linux and Mac OS are able to, the modern versions of it at least, are able to write and read NTFS. Though technically, yes, this could be for Linux and Mac OS, but they technically use other stuff. So it really depends on what exactly you want to end up using. That's crazy. And it's kind of, I guess it goes down to what you want or what you like. So you can go ongoing here. I thought Linux was its own operating system. So, oh wait, no, I'm stupid. I keep thinking operating systems, but these are file systems. Can I please remind myself? So I'm wondering, this file system might just be able to be used currently for, I wonder for Linux as well. That's my question.
The system is not widely installed, and you'll see that Microsoft is continuing with updates and improvements as time goes
Excuse
on.
me, sorry, my fault. So it's not, so I guess it's a file system that currently works, but it's not widely installed just yet. At some point though, I'm assuming it's gonna get there. So now we're gonna end up getting into the FAT, and we're gonna get a little bit into that, but we took a couple of notes so far about other things that I think from here, I plan to do my job search. And I also, by the way, took a lot of notes off camera, which is probably why I was able to go and pass that quiz a little bit earlier. Super happy that I was able to take that. So real quick, let me end up getting out of here and kind of going to my little study session. Well, I love this little thing that I got going on here. I just need a better camera, y'all. Oops, wrong thing. All right, let's see. Ooh, my fault. I don't know what that was happening. Okay, here we go. Bammers. And so I need to come in here just to kind of see some stuff. And then we're going to go and look at some jobs, which is going to be pretty dang lit. How long have we been live for? We've been live for about 40 minutes. Maybe tonight was not the night. But let's do IT support job offers. I'm going to specifically look up remote just because they've been offering a lot more applications around me currently. So I'm wondering if they've offered a lot more in different places. So this one's 719 on Indeed. I feel like Indeed didn't have that much at first. So the fact that Indeed has this much, let's just end up getting into it. It doesn't really say. I think right now we're looking at relevance over date. I kind of want to see the date over relevance. I want to see the date first. So I'm assuming all the ones that are kind of popping up are newer here. It doesn't really say on Indeed which ones are new, which ones are not. So let's go and immediately jump to this camera, and we're going to turn that one off. And let's just go look at a couple of applications. What is up, y'all? It says REFS is only used in Windows Server environments and never in Linux environments. REFS never used in desktop. No, yes. Because that's literally what I was just taking notes on. Because I was taking notes on the other one that was, I believe, was just NTFS. So the one that's like, obviously, the current one. And that was the one that they're talking about that ends up, I guess, Linux and Mac OS could end up using in the modern versions. The older versions can't. But yeah, so that's why I was trying to see with the RFS. I was wondering, because if that version technically could by the modern version, I'm surprised that the RFS doesn't just naturally do it. But I guess not. But they did say here that the REFS, what was it saying? because what you're saying is true. You said the server environments, but I swore it said also that it was the server environments and for the desktop environments. But you're saying that it's never used in the desktop environments. But that was definitely the note, I think, unless maybe I misread that. But that was definitely the note that he gave real quick. I'm just going to see if I can find it. Because I don't want to make sure I took, because that was what I wrote. So maybe I could have miswrote that. Where is it at? I think it's this one. Huge storage. Where is it at? Is it here? Supports very large, ongoing. Is it at the bottom? This is FAT. Yeah, no, I didn't get into that yet. What exactly was I just? Oh, I think it was the beginning. Before, unless maybe I wrote it in the wrong spot. I think it should be this one. So future, like here maybe. No, this is exactly what I'm on. So why would I write that? Did I write the wrong thing? Unless I'm just not reading. It says the file system. Oh, I think it was something that he had said. I don't think he wrote it on the screen, but I think he said it then. Because I put the file system is designed for desktop systems and server environments. Support for very large drive. So yeah, I think he said it like in between here. Maybe he got that wrong. He said it's very rare, but the only time I've ever seen it used was in server environment. Okay. Oh, so I thought it was like completely wasn't able to use. That's why it confused me for a second. I was like, wait, am I missing something? Okay. So the only way I know to use RFS on desktop is an Azure VM, but that's still just a server. Okay. So I just wanted to know. I thought you guys were trying to say like it couldn't be used at all. I was like, wait a second. So I think I took the wrong note. But let's continue looking at some job applications. These ones are specifically for, I mean, technically these are support engineers. I don't know if that counts as IT support, but whatever, we could just kind of look at what they would want you to use. I know IT support has a bunch of different names. I don't really like the way that one looked. Didn't even look like a real job application. Sorry if it was. My fault. But let's look at some of the key responsibilities to know what I'm going to be getting into. If y'all are new here, this is a journey where I like to currently document myself trying to pursue IT support and to hopefully become a network engineer, but I don't know nothing. So we're on day 42, and that's literally exactly how many days I've been learning the basics all the way up to a little bit of some CompTIA stuff. But we have goals. So it says diagnose, troubleshoot, and resolve issues related to authentication. Why can't I say that? What the hell? Authentication. I know how to say that word. Authentic. I still can't even say authenticity. I can't even say that. I know the word, y'all. I don't know what's going on. Identity management, software deployment, platform configuration, provide clear, timely communication with partners or issue status, next steps, and resolution timelines, escalate complex or product-related bugs to engineering, ensuring through documentation. I love this. Assist with platform testing, validation. This doesn't really look like IT to me. I mean, maybe a little bit, but it's like, I don't know. Represent Evo security and professional single managed. I think they have tickets here. 2+ years in providing technical. Yeah, I was gonna say, this doesn't seem like IT support. This is like probably similar, or maybe it could be, but it's a specific thing that I'm not interested in. Honestly, that was what that was. Let's move on here. Let's go to technical customer support. I think this would be considered IT, right? This one's tier 2. Surprised it's remote. I always thought tier 2 was hands-on, but provide high quality frontline calls, dive into technical KPIs to review with management on a monthly basis. That's annoying. Hands-on technical VPN, basic networking, connectivity, infrastructure, troubleshooting. You said you just passed your A+ Core 1. Professor Mess's videos is the best source of information. Oh, definitely. That's literally what I was currently just taking notes on. I did have this on the screen just so it looks like I have something on the screen. But I don't like to, I don't really want to show his YouTube video. I do have it right here because I feel like it's easily able to get copyrighted by the system of YouTube. But then also as well, YouTube, I mean, sometimes, they might copyright it themselves. So I try not to use it on stream. But that is something that I'm currently learning. But definitely congratulations, man, because truly, that is insane. I cannot wait till I end up being able to get mine. And even though I'm kind of nowhere close to being able to take it low-key, I feel like I gotta wait until like February. But I think the thing is I know enough for hands-on work, but specifically for that certification, it's like you need to actually know what you're talking about, what the answers are, and kind of how you would troubleshoot it. And I think a lot of that comes from experience. I feel like I'm not I'm not there yet to go and take that test. I still don't even know networking basics or software basics. Maybe a little, it depends on what we're talking about. But yeah, so it's a little crazy. It's a little crazy, but I can't wait to end up being able to do it, bro. So it definitely just motivated me by saying that. I don't know. Whenever I hear that people pass it, sometimes it clicks in my head. Like, if someone else can do it, I can do it too. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's just true in all ways. So definitely, bro, that is super dope. The angry cynic. Is that how you pronounce your name? You said that's awesome. Congrats. Oh, yeah, you're saying that to him. Yes, it really is. It really is. I gotta make sure that I'm on the right account, by the way. Oops, wrong account again. How did I do that? Because I know with this phone now that I'm probably not going to show my notes until a little bit later. By the way, if you guys are new here, make sure you end up hitting that sub button, bro. That'd be super dope. Super, super damn dope. And thank you for tuning in. So we got technical support specialists here for about 65 to 75 a year. That's kind of a lot of money. Especially for maybe an entry level position, but maybe it's not entry level, who knows? But it says key responsibilities, customer support, issue resolution. So software and hardware products. So far, I might be able to help you here, at least to the best of my ability. It says here, respond to tickets, emails, and calls with empathy, professionalism, and customer first approach. I think I would do very well. I am a little bit of a nervous person, but I feel like what I probably would have to do specifically is work on my talking skills. Like, I know obviously doing it on stream feels good. And I'm not gonna lie, I haven't really had to talk to people much. Except for like maybe here and there at work, but just the other, so I don't really notice if it's working. Some people will be like, to build your confidence, talk to a camera for 100 days and see what happens. But I don't really have to talk to people in my daily job. But just a little bit earlier today, I did have an appointment that I feel like I normally would have been like very anxious about and I would have been like shaky on. But for some reason, I was able to talk with my chest. But granted, the camera wasn't on and it was over the phone. So I'm like, I need to see how in person is gonna do. But with this, if I found a remote position, technically it's the same thing. And at the end of the day, I always gotta remind myself that I would be considered the professional. So these people who are calling me, if anything, they should probably be nervous talking to me because it's like I'm the professional. Like I would be the professional. So I always gotta remember that placement. I shouldn't even be in fear because they're probably nervous about how to even say it to me. Even though I'm freaking out about how to say it to them. You say, yeah, I said it right. Okay, that's good. For some reason, I always thought your name was the Angry Clinic, but I just realized it's the Cynic. So 1 to 3 years of technical support, help desk, or customer service role. Of course, they would prefer it to be health-wise because this is a health position, which I would love to get into healthcare. I heard healthcare is crazy, especially being an IT support specialist or even a network engineer in a hospital. I heard it's crazy work, but for me, I think I would be willing to do it just because I think hospitals, I just love working in that type of environment. I also feel like it is a little bit nerve-wracking though because it is a hospital, but it's like, I think I would personally like it, but I heard that it's really like fast-paced, people are angry, like there's just a lot going on. But imagine for one, if that's the case, the pay better be substantial for that. You know what I'm saying? Like the pay better be a little bit higher than if that's what the hell I'm gonna have to deal with. But other than that, I think I would like it. Or maybe a government-sized building wouldn't be bad neither. I think that's always the kind of the goal for someone who's in IT because those ones are more unionized anyway. But it's super dope. You say you definitely can do it. It just jump into watching that playlist. I was so lost at first with no idea about anything. I locked in for a month and passed it. If I can, you can do it too. Yes, man. Thank you so much for that encouragement there. The only thing is though, is I'm assuming that you probably had more time in your day. I do only have about an hour of my time to kind of study. So I hate the fact that like I wish I could lock in, but I can only lock in for an hour. You get what I'm saying? Like I wish I could do like 3 to 4, maybe daily. I think I definitely would get super far. But yeah, that's why I think my biggest thing is kind of focusing on watching his videos. And if I don't understand something like I didn't over here, I was like, what the hell is RAID gonna do in the file system? Just look it up, even if that might not be a question on the CompTIA, but just so you can understand and have further knowledge on what you want to know. Um, Radiology help desk. That's pretty dope, low key. But stuff like that. So I'm just like, I think I could do it. I just think for me it's gonna take a little longer because I don't have too much time, man. Yeah, you say you get me. No, yeah, it's crazy. I wish, but who knows? We'll see in the future. Says honestly, it'd probably be a tech professional who interviews you for positions like this. If not, then maybe HR and it's a hit or miss with them. But the bar is generally pretty low for entry level stuff. No, yes, because I'm not gonna lie. I know, especially people in my state, or I don't want to say my state, in my city, and I don't mean to come at them because I do enjoy and love my city, but a lot of them are not really proactive, right, when it comes to learning. So I feel like for the IT position, I think, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but if I get certifications and maybe if I even did a couple of labs, I think I would 100% stand out as long as I did the interview correctly, because not a lot of people here would do that. They wouldn't even think to get labs or to even think to get certifications. Maybe if I were to work in a different area, I think I probably wouldn't stand out. But I feel like specifically for where I'm at, I honestly believe if I put out an application and especially like word my resume correctly, I literally think I would stand out. And that's kind of what my goal is, to try to land a job here for experience because I just know I would get it in a way. And then hopefully from there, try to, whenever I move or whatever the hell for my future, see how that ends up going. So his ability to maintain strict confidentiality. Okay. Oh, you know what? For some reason I always thought this word meant something different, and I just learned that today. Like I always knew like what it meant, but I just thought it was something a little bit different. And when they said it, I was like, oh, all right, just keep stuff between. Like you can't say nothing. I was like, I always like knew that you're supposed to do that. I didn't even know that that was that fucking like that was that definition. That was crazy. I was like, no, what the hell is that? So install and configure appropriate radiology software packages such as PACS, voice recognition, and other supporting applications. Man, this is pretty good. This is pretty dope. But yeah, I was gonna say entry level positions I feel like are a little bit more easier. Maybe not for remote positions just because everyone probably applies to these. I do have positions around me. I just don't want to go look at them because I don't want y'all to know like my state. But I'm currently like I'm kind of iffy on whether I'm looking and I'm actually going to go for these things or not, because I did have a little bit of like a thing where I remember I prayed to God, y'all, and I told him, I was like, can you make my paths clear? Like, I want to know what to do. Should I start applying? Because there was about, I want to say like maybe 10 to 12 positions that opened up around me, like literally in my city and maybe the next city over, but not too far, like 10 minutes away. So I was like, ooh, like, should I apply? Tell me why in a song, and I was looking at the street sign at the same time. Why did they both say wait? I can't even, like, I was like, what? Like, I didn't even know we had a street sign named Wait, number one. Like, I was just reading it because we were dropping someone off from work, so I just read it. And then at the same time, the song said it, and I was like, bro, this can't be a coincidence. Like, clearly, this is God talking to me. And I think what the goal, though, of what he was probably trying to say, low key, is what I personally think, is that I think I have a lot more to study, in the sense of if I were to walk into an interview and they ask me some technical questions, I can do well, but I don't think I'm gonna do good enough because I don't know. Like, I really don't know a lot. Like, especially after getting, like, trying to quiz myself a little bit when it came to some troubleshooting things or even knowing a couple of things. And then since I don't have labs right now or any type of certification, I'm like, the only thing I could offer is that I know how to do it. And if I don't know how to do it, then I'm just not ready. So I was learning, I think I do have to wait. But I don't know, because if I see the right position, I might just apply because I might not even get it. You know what I mean? So I got to get used to making my resume anyway. So I can't wait to get into some stuff like that. I'm going to click 2. Hopefully this doesn't do anything. Okay, let's go to the next one. We got senior support engineer. You said for sure the certifications will do wonders. CompTIA is DoD certified, so companies take it very seriously. Often that's enough to get a job on its own. I would avoid getting an AWS certification though. That's more for web dev stuff and not really teach you anything necessary to becoming a network engineer. Yeah, I don't know why then that degree, because I can show y'all what that degree is that I was looking into. It was the WGU degree for networking. Let me see. The networking degree that they got. It's like an online school. They have programs, degrees. Let me go and see real quick if I can find it. Because I didn't, I was shocked too, but it was them. It says network engineering. Where's it at? This is the software engineering one. This is the one that I was mainly looking at. They have a master's. Oh, wait, no, that's a management degree. This is the one I was looking at that was, for some reason, was talking about the certifications that come with it. Oh, wait, do they give you, wait, hold on, sorry. Now I'm just kind of learning more things. Because it's saying this includes certifications like CompTIA A Plus, Network Plus. I don't know if that, I don't think that means if you finish it, you get these. I think it just means you will be prepared for it. But I'm trying to see exactly because they were the ones that mentioned the AWS for some reason, and they also said it prepares you for the CCNA, which I know a lot of people who get into networking look at that. What the hell is it? Time to finish approximately 4 years, but it says as quickly as you can master the material, typically 3 years. So it's more of a quicker way to get your degree. I can't find it. Was it this here? Download the PDF. What the hell? This is the course guide? Oh, do they tell you the classes? Oh, they do. Applied algebra. Hold on, I might have to save this for later because I do want to go for this one day. Alright, sorry, I got distracted, y'all. Let me just get back to what I was doing. So that's more of a web. Oh yeah. So anyway, I don't know why they mentioned the AWS, but that was something they mentioned. I thought it was. I didn't even know AWS cert. I didn't even know that was anything for web dev. Oh yeah, you're right, because it's the Amazon. Wait, what? The Amazon Web Services? That can't be what that is. Oh, it is Amazon Cloud. Oh, I think that's why, because the degree is for cloud and networking engineering. So if it's the Amazon, if it has something to do with being a cloud practitioner, like it says here, then that's probably why they mentioned that. Because I do eventually want to get into cloud. I think cloud makes so much sense because it's what they're currently using everywhere at this point. So that's why oh, see, literally. Oh, look. AWS cloud support. What are the odds? What are the odds? That is crazy work. It says administer and support the CTR file support, but this is probably something I would want to get into, is either going the cloud route, even when it comes to the support, but also possibly if I were to ever, which I know is so much more harder, but it would definitely be a goal if I were to, get to networking engineering, get deeper into it, is I would love to try and get into cybersecurity. Obviously, that's just mainly in the future though, because I'm not really learning anything around that yet. But if that's the case, I'd love to do cloud in cybersecurity as well. I'm more of a defense type of person though. I don't want to do offense. I want to protect. But yeah, it's pretty cool there. You said if it's a part of the degree or it gets extra credits, then it wouldn't hurt. But cloud is more to trying to avoid setting up servers and networking. And plus AWS is Amazon, so it only works with them. Oh, it only works with them? Oh, it's weird. That is weird. I had no idea. I thought AWS was just, wow. Okay, well now that I know that, then maybe probably shouldn't go for that. Probably should go for a different type of cloud certification, because definitely would like to get into it. But I don't know if it's extra credits towards it. I think it basically prepares you for it, because you know how where is it? They mentioned the CompTIA here. I don't think you're literally taking it throughout it. I mean, if you are, then that's cool. Let me see. It says the tuition cost for this includes the cost of it does say, I think, includes the cost of third-party certificates. The unique specializations include additional certifications that are designed to help enhance your experience. All students in cloud and networking program will earn 6 certifications from the CompTIA, Linux, and the ITIL. Oh, so it's only these ones. Okay, never mind. I don't know. I swore on everything they mentioned the AWS, y'all. I didn't just make this up. And they take financial aid. That's good. Oh, and scholarships. I didn't think they did. I definitely really got to look into this. That's so what I want to go for, though. 100%. So what I want to go for. All right, let's continue looking at some jobs here. We got technical support administrator. This remote 25 to 35 an hour. That seems pretty good. They said I was like the VM. So Linux Plus, which I would love to go and get one of these days as well. Field incoming help requests, CPM ability to effectively prioritize and execute tasks in a high pressure manner. That's pretty dope. So yeah, they do have a good amount of them, honestly. Specifically remote jobs, but like I said, I'm sure plenty of people apply, and probably even plenty of people who actually have just greater experience than I ever would. Straight up. just some greater experience than I ever would, so I am not too positive. Last but not least, I feel like let's go and take this BIOS quiz, which, by the way, don't expect too much from me. I know I'm a fail. That's all I'm gonna tell you. I know I'm a fail. Wait, did I click the right one? Oh wait, this is the wrong one. This is the 1201. Oopsies. Oopsies. I meant to do the 1202. Aha. Oh wait, no, yeah, 1201. Sorry, never mind. What am I talking about? This is embarrassing. 1202. Is this the 1202? No, it's the 1101. Okay. My fault. BIOS. I know I'm gonna fail this, so don't expect me to pass. The point of this, though, is to see kind of how CompTIA words a little bit of their questions, and then probably to also take some notes on some of the questions and what the right answer is for the future. So after completing initial diagnostics and allocating system resources, the startup BIOS program checks for information about secondary storage devices that might contain the OS. The list of these devices and the order in which they could be checked is configured. I don't even think I've ever seen my own boot system. So it's saying, I mean, my BIOS system, so it's saying the devices and the order in which they are checked can be found and configured in BIOS boot options. I mean, we're just gonna run through this. Because if I don't go with my gut, then I'm not gonna pick. So which BIOS configuration option helps mitigate a common vector for malware infection? Oof, I don't not know this one. Chassis, intrusion detection, supervisor password, USB permission settings, wait, what? Which BIOS configuration options? You said network engineers don't work with cloud. It could be useful to learn some bits because cloud is popular. Oh, really? I swore, maybe I'm tripping, man. I swore they did. Engineers? But not like, I don't think you have to work with cloud, but I thought there was like some cloud options that you could get into. You know what I mean? Like not that you have to. Like, you're able to work outside of cloud, but isn't there some positions where you are able to work in cloud as a network engineer, and I believe you get paid a little bit more for that, no? Or am I tripping? Because I swore that was a thing. Like cloud network engineers. And I think they do stuff, I'm not sure. I mean, if they don't get paid than regular network engineers, then what's the point of me even getting in there? But I think normally people who do that, because I think that is a position, I believe that they normally do it just so they could eventually get into cyber at some point. But I think they do earn more because they're specialized in either AWS, Azure, GCP. So I think so. It really depends. Oh, you said yes, there's cloud engineers. Oh yeah, so I think that's what I would shoot for. But they're called cloud network engineers. Or is it just cloud engineers? Maybe I'm tripping. Which BIOS configuration helps mitigate a common vector for malware malfunctions? I don't know. This is a user password. I feel like that wouldn't make sense. Helps mitigate a common vector. Supervisor password, USB permission settings. We're just gonna go with whatever, because at the end of the day, the point is that it's gonna teach us. The TPM functionality, if available in the BIOS UEFI setup interface, provides which of the following features? The TPM, The TPM, I said it right the first time, but I don't know. If available in the BIOS and UEFI or UEFI setup interface, provides which of the following features? And select all that apply. They all look pretty nice, I don't know. Allows only trust boot files to run startup. Stores encryption keys and secure hardware. The only thing I could think of is click things that look similar. I think. Logs boot processes to detect changes. Safely creates and stores cryptographic keys. Check system integrity before granting network access. I wouldn't know any of that. A TPM functionality. I wouldn't know any of this. Because you know what I'm realizing is when I was saying that I was learning hardware, I realized that I learned the basics of hardware. I didn't learn hardware to the depths that I was supposed to. So this is gonna be crazy. Let's just guess. I think this one. I'm just gonna guess. Modern motherboards feature temperature sensors near key components like the CPU and chipset. The BIOS UEFI firmware periodically pulls these sensors to obtain current. Why would I know that? I think true. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I have to know it if this is what they're going to ask. So, which of the following terms refers to the advanced security feature integrated into modern UFI firmware that ensures only digitally signed, trusted software is allowed to run during the system startup? I'm pretty sure I got all of these wrong. Let me restart. Refers to advanced security feature integrated into modern UFI firmware that ensures only digital signed, trusted software is allowed to run. It has to. Damn. The fact that it says trusted makes me think it's the trusted boot. The trusted OS loader is crazy. For boot to be in all three, either they're trying to throw me off or it's one of these. Secure or trusted. Boot guard is funny. I'm gonna go with trusted. Which of the answers listed below refers to a boot password? Required access and modified boosts. Primarily protects against unauthorized use. Activated only when entering the BIOS configuration. Required before the OS loads to prevent unauthorized access. Does not restrict access to the BIOS. Prevents configuration changes to firmware. Maybe? Who cares? Let's see. I got an F. I'm just confident. This was a 0 on all of it. Confidence. So what is up, y'all? Hey, what is up? How are you? You say you're studying for the CCNA. Hey, that is what's up. Am I the only one that takes quizzes, fails like hell, and then takes notes after? Is that? I think that's the only way you could really study. But I have no clue. Activated. Okay, wait, hold on. Which of the following statements does not apply to the BIOS password? Does not. Wait, can I pick multiple? Okay, no, one. Activated only when entering the BIOS configuration menu. Restricts access to the BIOS, does not interfere with the actual boot, prevents unauthorized modifications, ensures that unauthorized users cannot start the system. Does not interfere with the, I think it's this one, right? Restricts, activated only when entering, unless it's, maybe I'm confused with this one. Activated only when entering the BIOS configuration. As in like what does that mean? Like, is that saying like it activates, I don't even understand that one. Does not interfere with the actual boot. I'm just gonna do that. I don't understand it. Oh, we got number 1 right. I'm not even upset. As long as I got 1 correct, because I'm positive everything else was hell, I'm happy. Damn, I was going back and forth on these ones too, because I was like, I don't even know what this is. I shouldn't have picked it. I got about 3 of these right, but I missed 2. Wait, hold on, I'm confused. Oh, it was like basically the whole thing except 1. Yeah, I wouldn't have got that. Oh, we got another one. That's not bad. Obviously, I did guess though. So even though some of these were right, it was all a guess anyway. Alright, this one's wrong. We got about 2 here. Required access. So it wasn't this one? Yes, I feel like I must have misunderstood what they were asking. But okie doke. I thought I picked that. Does not restrict access. Oh. Prevents. So was this one required before the OS loads? I understood that one, but does not restrict access to BIOS and UEFI settings? Maybe I don't know what a boot password is. I thought they were talking about like a password. Then I got this one wrong. Was I thinking it was this one though? Ensures the unauthorized users cannot start the system. Oh, you know what? I didn't even read that all the way through. I was too busy looking at ensures unauthorized and then I stopped. But that's not bad. A 53 is definitely a fail. It's definitely an L, but this is how we learn. We fail a quiz and we keep going. We fail, we take some notes on where we could have went right, and then we pass them later. Because I failed the CPU quiz yesterday, guys. I don't think some of y'all were here in the beginning or even yesterday, but I failed the CPU quiz completely. I think I got like a 61. Then I took a lot of notes on CPU, which I didn't do on camera, but here they are. A bunch of notes on this page and on the page on the back. And pretty much, I want to say, I think I got I ended up getting 100 on that quiz. I did it in the beginning of this live stream if you guys want to watch it, but I failed poorly yesterday. So we're going to end up seeing tomorrow if we make some progress. Hopefully we do on this BIOS quiz. So I was happy to get 100 on the CPU quiz. But all we gotta do is just go through this. But yeah, that's what I ended up realizing when it came to the hardware section is like, I was confident at first. Cause I was like, oh, you know, you put a computer in front of me, I could tell you what everything is. I could fix it. I could tell you how to troubleshoot it, right? But then I realized when it comes to an exam, it's like they really want you to know things that you probably would kind of know, but without understanding it, if that makes sense. Like you know it, but you don't know how to explain it. And I was just like, oh, it's one of those things. So then what I was basically figuring is that I think I personally learned the basics and I didn't learn CompTIA hardware stuff. And I was like, that makes sense for one, because I know that CompTIA expects you to know the basics. So when I didn't take a note on it, obviously I'm not going to be able to understand it. But that's why I'm doing the same thing with the operating system, is I'm learning the basics of the operating system and software. Then I'm going to learn the basics of networking. And that's when I plan to deep dive into CompTIA stuff. So that's why I'm not too mad about taking the L on this one. I already figured. That's why I pre-warned everybody. I already knew I was failing. I wasn't even going to try. So you're on the right track. Keep taking those practice quizzes until you're acing them every time. No, definitely, man. Says also get used to making mini virtual labs because your news showing that you can build computers and join them a domain in a lab environment shows and have not just book knowledge. No, definitely. I already know everything that I'm already planning on getting into. It's gonna get crazy because I've been doing a lot of research, so I know exactly what I have to do. It's just about doing it. So like I said, currently trying to learn the basics of hardware, software. Well, I already learned the basics for hardware, but basics for hardware, software, networking. Then I plan to get a little bit deeper into that CompTIA wise and then focus on strongly CompTIA studying, not anything else outside of that, just strictly CompTIA studying. And then around that time, I want to get physically hands-on with hardware. So I want to buy a computer, which is either old. I can't do it this month because I'm spending already too much on Christmas. So maybe January. But I want to buy a computer, break it apart, and obviously document myself doing it so I can put it on my resume that I basically took a computer apart and then put it back together to kind of show that I understand hardware pieces, where they're supposed to be, where the wires and connectors are supposed to be, and what each thing is. And so I could also do that as a little side hustle where I could ultimately make people PCs on the side as I'm continuing to learn all this stuff. So I'll let y'all know how all that stuff goes. But I'm very confident that I could build a computer or a desktop. I just need to buy one, take it apart, learn all that stuff first. And then after that, I know everything. I know what everything is, where it should go, yada, yada. I just need to see it first. And so that's my plan, is to get hands-on with hardware first, because I just find that more interesting too. Then from there, I want to go and open up, well, I could probably do this at the same time, but kind of look at my own BIOS. I can't clearly show that on screen. I could probably do it on a video. But I want to look at my own BIOS and kind of go through everything there just so I can kind of understand what each thing does. Because I think the best way to learn is by looking at your own configurations. Same thing with the hardware too, looking at my own specs and then kind of understanding what everything is, and then buying other things to kind of test that type of stuff on and see what ends up happening. So I can't wait to get hands on. And then of course I got to do virtual labs for the ticketing system and the troubleshooting help desk side of things, if that's where I begin. And I think there's another lab I need to get into. I forgot. There's like about 3 different lab projects I want to do. I have a lot, honestly. I want to do a lot that is hands-on, a lot that is networking / hardware, and then a lot of it that's going to be software as well. So I have so much plans. I just got to do it. I just got to simply do it. But I live too much in the future, man. I'm like, I want to get into it right now, but I got to continue learning first. I think I could definitely buy a computer, and I would have done it this month if it wasn't Christmas and I didn't spend so much damn money. So it's like, I feel like I'm probably going to have to wait until next month to be able to buy that computer. And so y'all can end up seeing a nice little live stream / YouTube video of me finally getting on a desktop, opening it up, and I'm probably going to buy it broken, so it's not going to be nothing fixed, because I ain't finna sit there and spend dough on a desktop, because what if I break it? Shit, I'm gonna be scared as hell. So make sure y'all end up hitting that sub button if y'all want to end up seeing that, or literally just follow along the journey of me currently trying to become an IT support specialist. We are on day 42, and literally 42 days ago, I knew nothing. So even though y'all probably saw me fail that quiz, the fact that I do know certain things, especially at the beginning of the stream as I pass the CPU thing, I even know what the damn CPU is or what BIOS is crazy to me, because I had no idea what any of this was 42 days ago. That's always like my biggest thing that I need people to understand is like I'm literally fresh. I had no idea. Like I've had my own laptop, but I didn't really care about the specs. I asked somebody else to figure out the specs for me. Now I actually understand it. So if I wanted to give people advice for buying a PC or desktop, like I actually know now. I never knew this 42 days ago. So make sure you all continue to follow. By the way, if you think I'm somebody who's just gonna hop on here and it says day 42 and then be gone for months, that's not the case. I've honestly documented my web dev journey for 7 months previously, and so that was about like over maybe 200 or so videos, and I showed the entire journey. So I'm someone who's literally going to show the whole thing. Doesn't matter what it is. I don't care whether I fail, pass, or not. I think the biggest thing is relatability. And so if I hopped on here and let's say I didn't know how to take that BIOS quiz and just so I could look good, I decided to take it before streams. Now I'm just passing stuff. It's like, that's not going to feel realistic. Like having a little fail here and there, getting something wrong here and there, it's really relatable. And that's the whole point of this channel is I just want to show y'all that y'all can literally do whatever you put your mind to and that we could learn anything, literally anything. I knew none of this 42 days ago, so hopefully this can inspire y'all and motivate y'all to just continue going, continue pushing, and just doing whatever y'all want. And I hope that y'all feel enticed to hit that subscribe button and to come join this journey. I have a video coming out right after this at 10 p.m. and it's going to be about my decision making on getting this CompTIA A plus and when I think I'm going to be getting it, and necessarily my study routine a little bit more than what I discussed here. So hopefully y'all can end up tuning in there. I am ending stream, which is why I'm doing this little chat. I wish I could stay on a lot longer, but I screwed up about my timing. I know, my fault. So tomorrow's stream should hopefully be a lot more longer. Hopefully. Who knows? Because I can't stay on too long. But I'll catch you on the next one. Love y'all. Y'all are super goated. Deuces.